exercises of Bowdoin College will be opened by an invocation by Brother Richard Crowley.
Let us pray. Gracious God, we thank you for this day which you have made, and for the many gifts you have blessed us with. As you lead us into the future, may we always seek you in the present, in the spirit of truth and love. Amen.
The national anthem will be sung by the graduating members of Boca Miscellanea, the Medibemsters, Ursus Versus, the Bowdoin College Chorus, and the Bowdoin College Chamber Choir.
Living in Maine for 4 years for most of the students is an important and memorable part of their Bowdoin experience because the sun always shines in Maine. And it is customary at commencement that a representative of the state comes to give his greetings to the graduating seniors. So as chairman of the Board of Bowdoin Trustees, it's my privilege and pleasure to present this morning the governor of the state, the Honorable John Balducci. Governor Balducci was born in Bangor. He is a graduate of the University of Maine. He has a BA in history, and he worked initially in his family's business in Bangor, in the restaurant business. And then he was first elected to public office at the age of 23, where he won a seat on the Bangor City Council. In 1982, he was elected to the Maine State Senate, where he served until 1994. In 1994, he was elected to the House of Representatives, and he was re-elected in 96, 98, and again in 2000. Through his congressional committee work, he was involved in many decisions important to Maine's natural resource-based economy. And during his years of service, he focused attention and worked tirelessly on issues of economic development and education. He was elected governor of the state in 2002. Governor Balducci was honored to welcome you this morning. It's my privilege to welcome you and him to give you his greetings from the state. Governor Balducci.
Thank you very much, Don. Thank you very, very much. And students, families, friends, President Mills, I want to congratulate each and every one of you. It's your day, and I'm not going to try to get in the way of it too much. Last week I gave an address and they put me in the middle of the 50-yard line of a football field on a balmy day, and it's been a while since we've had weather like that. So I told the students, unfortunately for them, that I didn't want to leave the rostrum. Well, today we find ourselves, if you wait long enough, the weather will change. I'm very proud of the students and their intellect, their camaraderie, and their willingness to take the challenges in life front and center. I also want to congratulate the faculty and staff and the administration, because I know how much they care about what happens to you and to make sure that your learning experience is the best that it can be. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. When I came into town, I stopped at the Exxon station, and I know that parking's a little bit difficult, but there were 4 Brunswick police officers at the Exxon station. They were huddled there. I think they were trying to figure out what to do about the graduation today. And I asked them, I said, well, how long do these Bowdoin graduations go? And of course, there always has to be one young whippersnapper in the crowd, and he looked right at me and he said, they're going to go on as long as the guest speaker speaks. Well, the guest speaker is going to make a couple of points, and he's going to let you get on with your graduation. But you, students and graduates, more than any other, have a tremendous responsibility beyond your own education and your own life. And in our state, we believe that we can tackle any problem, anywhere, no matter what the challenge is that comes to us. Whether it's on prescription drugs, whether it's on trying to narrow a budget, try to grow the economy, or on tackling health care. We believe the citizens of this state recognize that their ship is not going to come in from Washington today or for the foreseeable future, and they're not going to let the needs of the citizen wait any longer. They're going to start to build their own ship here in Maine. And the way that you do it in our state is that you recognize it's not your own individual self or special interest, but you're citizens of a state that recognizes citizenship means community, means region, means state, and how proud we are of each and every one of our citizens, no matter what region, no matter what economic background, and no matter what political affiliation. As long as they're Maine, they're mine, unless New Hampshire wants to claim more of it. But when it comes to health care and trying to address that, or any challenge that we face before us, it's going to be a requirement to recognize that we each have to change, we each have to sacrifice a little bit in order to serve a greater good. And the challenge that I lay before you, students, today is one that you have already willingly accepted. Because I've been to Bowdoin, I gave my speech on our environmental program, if elected as governor, in recognizing the importance of the environment and the economy. And it's not a choice, it's not a balance, but they're one and the same. It was here at Bowdoin that we gave those addresses. And I've appreciated the support from you, the students and faculty and others in the community, so that we could put those policies and platforms to work. So I already know that you are the students who are going to recognize the greater challenge and the greater public interest. And as we serve the citizens of this state and every state in this country, we recognize that it is you with your lanterns of learning, with your diplomas, that are going to show the way. So it was said many years before, but maybe you by yourself cannot change history, like Archimedes used to say, give me a place to stand and I'll change the world. But if each one of you can put forward an idea, a principle, to be able to stand up for and to strike out against discriminations, or whatever the challenges before us happen to be, you send a tiny ripple of hope, And that ripple of hope from a million different centers of energy and daring in our state and across the country becomes a current that can wash down the walls of oppression and resistance. And you can do it, and you will do it, and you will be the leaders in the 21st century. Congratulations to each and every one of you.
Good morning, and welcome to this joyous occasion and to our beautiful campus in this glorious but maybe spring-challenged state of Maine. This is a special day for all of our graduating seniors and for their families and friends, and I congratulate you all. Now, it's been 17 years since a Bowdoin commencement was forced indoors. And while each of us would rather be under sunny skies today, none of us will let the rain outside dampen our enthusiasm and warm wishes for the class of 2003. It may be dreary out here today, but the Bowdoin sun shines on all of us here today, and we're delighted that we're outside celebrating this commencement. I would also like to induct all of you into what is an important part of Bowdoin, the Bowdoin Outing Club. We wanted to give you the experience, and we're delighted to welcome you. Before I hand out any diplomas, I want to ask all of our graduating seniors to rise. In a more recent tradition of the college, please face your parents, friends, and family, those who have supported and nurtured you, and thank them with a hearty round of applause. And now, one last task, a second round of applause for the Bowdoin faculty and staff who have been committed to your pursuit of learning. Okay, you may be seated. Thank you. I would like to welcome the Governor of Maine, Governor John Baldacci. Thank you for joining us today with your greetings from the state. I want to assure you, Governor, that as the new president of Bowdoin, I share your magnificent sense of timing in taking office in the midst of tough economic times. As one of my trustees recently said to me about my performance, so far, so good. I hope you have been similarly encouraged. I also want to welcome and congratulate our honorands. Each a wonderful example of what we value here at Bowdoin, a commitment to excellence, to thoughtful examination and inquiry into good deeds. Grace Paley, a prolific writer, poet, and teacher, an activist, and an inspiration to us all. Mark Morris, choreographer, dancer, and founder of the renowned Mark Morris Dance Group. I said last night when it was announced that Mr. Morris would be honored, a faculty member emailed me to ask if this is the Mark Morris, because she couldn't imagine that Bowdoin would be so cool as to bring someone like Mark to our campus. We're delighted that you're here. Margaret Hamburg, physician, leader in public health, counselor, and strong and convincing voice for the world on the dangers of bioterrorism, who graced us yesterday with her very, very thoughtful talk. Thank you. And Ray Trobe, Bowdoin class of 1950. Welcome home. Ray is a champion of business and industry, acting as an advisor, counselor, and director for America's foremost business leaders and most important companies. A man of judgment and skill who is dedicated to advancing corporate responsibility. We are proud to welcome each of you to Bowdoin. Now, yesterday at Baccalaureate, I spoke of two bedrock principles of our college: service to the common good, and our commitment to the ideals of liberal education. I congratulate the members of the class of 2003 and offer my appreciation as a citizen of Brunswick for the differences you have made in our community. There are people all over this town and in surrounding communities who have come to know and appreciate the caring, enthusiasm, and energy of this class. School children, mothers and fathers, senior citizens, teachers, coaches, social service workers, municipal officials. To these grateful citizens and neighbors, you embody Bowdoin's long-articulated dedication to service. For your help in our schools, our shelters, our homes for the elderly, for your participation in blood drives, in preserving and enhancing our environment, and in encouraging young athletes, for even holding a triathlon. For all of this and more, you have the thanks and respects of this community and your college. As we discussed yesterday at Baccalaureate, Bowdoin's commitment to the ideals of liberal education remains strong and resolute. The students who sit before us have learned in this liberal tradition. They are, as James Friedman describes, independent of mind, skeptical of authority and received views, prepared to forge an identity for themselves, capable of becoming individuals, not bent upon copying other persons. They are young men and women who, in many ways, satisfy what Woodrow Wilson held out as the goal of liberal education: to make a person as unlike one's father or mother as possible. And I'm sure Woodrow Wilson meant that in a good way. We take pride in this and in every class that has and will graduate from Bowdoin, because we know this college is contributing to communities throughout our nation and world, liberally educated citizens prepared to engage the challenges of life and the world as leaders in nuanced, thoughtful, ethical, and assertive ways. And now I'd like to add a final word to our seniors. Look around you. You're surrounded by your friends for life, not just your classmates, but also the faculty and staff of this great college. Bowdoin is grounded on yet another essential belief: the solid belief in the value of enduring personal relationships. My best friends in life are the people who I sat with 30 years ago where you are sitting today. I'm confident that in 30 years, when you return to this college, you will say the same. In about an hour, yes, it's a very long list of names, you will become alumni of Bowdoin College. And in doing so, you will join the most loyal and enthusiastic group that any college or university would be proud to call their own. Among these alumni, you'll find old friends and meet new ones. You will discover mentors and supporters ready to reach out and assist you throughout your lives. I know that from experience. Take advantage of these relationships. Stay connected and devoted to each other and to your college. Congratulations to the Bowdoin class of 2003. Godspeed to you all, and now on to the celebration. It gives me great pleasure now to introduce the first of the commencement speakers for the class of 2003. It has been a tradition at Bowdoin College since the first graduating class to have members of the senior class address their peers during this commencement exercise. In nearly 200 years since, those speakers have included literary giant Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, Thomas Brackett Reed, who would go on to serve as Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, Alfred Kinsey, who would later gain fame as a biologist and researcher, and Robert E. Peary, who was an admiral who would explore the northernmost reaches of the earth and become the first man to stand on the North Pole. To this distinguished list, we are happy to add two names today. Our first speaker today is Tyler Lang, winner of the Class of 1868 prize. Tyler is from Seattle, Washington. He's a history major with a minor in Greek. He's a Sarah and James Bowdoin scholar, and he completed his honors project in history on the mystical body's iridescent wings, kingship in France, 1400 to 1600. During his time at Bowdoin, Tyler was on the crew, performed chamber music, and was a singer. He also enjoyed heading to the outdoors for sculling and telemarking. His talk today is titled, Know Thyself, Now What? Please join me in welcoming Tyler.
President Mills, members of the college, and guests. Since I have been fortunate enough to attend Bowdoin, I thank its faculty, staff, and students, the whole community of learning. In the sense taken from Roman law, the corporation or fictive body of Bowdoin exists beyond the life of humans. As matriculating students replace the graduating and new professors replace the retiring, this body changes yet is ever the same. Though our Bowdoin is larger and so different from the Bowdoin of 200 years ago, it is still Bowdoin. In this sense, I thank not the institutional Bowdoin, but the body which is all of us, past and present. As I express gratitude for my time here, I would like to address our future, beginning with something often told me in high school. Much is expected from those to whom much is given. We have been given the opportunity to sharpen our minds with an education in the liberal arts. Though we have gained some degree of knowledge in our fields of specialization, the real focus has been on how to learn and think, on the technique and process rather than the content of learning. From this capacity for learning and critical thought come future benefits. Yet, whom will we benefit? Soon after arriving here, I recognized how the idea of the common good, so central to our school's philosophy, speaks to this. For some of us, this concern has been admirably present. For others, from whom I cannot exclude myself, it is time to waken to our responsibility to the common good. Our great privilege obligates us to those around us. Our education is not and ought not only to be a way of perpetuating the privilege that some here have enjoyed from birth and others have tasted at college. Such a selfish endeavor is empty and fails Joseph McKean's admonition to Bowdoin's earliest students. Literary institutions are founded and endowed for the common good and not for the private advantage of those who resort to them, but that their mental powers may be cultivated and improved for the benefit of society. President McKean challenges us to move beyond college and live public lives for the benefit of the common good. To guide us on our public lives, I would like to rescue from oblivion two authors I have encountered while researching political theory in late medieval and early modern France. Living in times of war and civil strife, these liberally educated authors directed their broad and moral learning to the good of society. The exceptional Jean Bodin, in his Compendium of Moral Wisdom, leads the reader to the highest truth by ascending parallel French and Latin sentences, from which I spare you but for one. He has nothing of truth who is swollen with vanity. Our time of self-focused vanity, by no means vain, is drawing to a close for the graduating seniors. Having learned about ourselves through academics, sports, music, relationships, and in so many other ways, we cannot and ought not to continue wholly self-focused. Self-knowledge is only the starting point. We must now consider ourselves obligated to society as well as to ourselves. Even though learning continues throughout a lifetime, it is now time for action. What action will we take? Our lives will certainly follow different courses after graduation. Whether it is a traditional life of service, perhaps in a private or public charitable organization, or not so obviously a life of service, we can still serve society. As we seek to climb Bodin's moral ladder to truth, let us remember the words of another distant voice from the past, Joannes de Terrarubia, an official of justice in a France shattered by the 100 Years' War. He is not only a traitor to himself, to society, to the greatest good, who openly speaks a lie, but also he who does not freely proclaim and defend the truth. We must act for this truth to avoid betraying ourselves, our society, and our common good. Like sin, dishonesty is not merely dishonesty in action, but dishonesty in inaction. Whatever our truth is, we must proclaim and defend it. The greatest evils come from silence. History unfortunately provides many examples of those who did not raise their voices for truth. In the 16th century, the initial silence of the King of France tacitly approved the massacre of Huguenots on St. Bartholomew's Day. In the last century, Pius XII remained silent on the deportation of Italian Jews because he feared the consequences for his church. Recently, silent citizens have allowed their rights to be compromised on the pretext of national security. Will we too be cowed into silence? We have been given this great education in the liberal arts, the liberal skills, and must now use them to speak our truth. It is dishonest and vain to live a silent private life and fails the purpose of this college. Whatever exemplary behavior we might display in our private lives, we will remain traitors and idiots, idiotai, that is, in the Greek sense of a private person, if we fail to act for truth in our occupations. Complacency and cowardice have no place in a just society. If we do not each work for the common good by speaking and acting the truth, we remain silent and dishonest spokes in a great wheel of moral turpitude. The liberal arts, the arts of living in a free society, are useful to any life we lead. Rather than teaching the skills for a specific trade, they equip us for citizenship. If we raise our voices for the truth, every path leads to the common good. To live true and honest lives worthy of this college, we must seize every opportunity to defend the good and true, even if we can distance ourselves, physically or morally, from the evils we create or ignore. We still fail by rationalizing an evil and dishonest action. Terra Rubia therefore admonishes us with the words of St. John Chrysostom, "For it is better to suffer all evils than to permit evil." So again, the challenge before us as graduates of this college devoted to the common good is clear, though perhaps never simple. Let us raise our voices for our truth. Though our life may be less safe, it will be less vain and more honest than betraying ourselves, our college, and our society by doing nothing. On whatever path we take after graduation, let us not permit evil, but act for the common good by proclaiming and defending the truth. Thank you.
Our second speaker is Gloria Shen of Andover, Massachusetts. She's a sociology major with a minor in economics. She did an advanced independent study in Spanish this semester and worked on 2 service learning projects in conjunction with her sociology courses. In March, she went to Peru for the alternative spring break community service trip. Gloria was a member of the women's JV soccer team. She studied piano and recently gave her senior recital. She also teaches piano to local children. Next year, she hopes to pursue work at a public or social policy organization. Today, as the Goodwin Commencement Prize winner, Gloria will deliver a speech titled, "In Search of Pencil Sharpeners, Living the Efficient Life." Gloria?
President Mills, members of the college, and guests. There's something very satisfying about sharpening pencils. When I was younger, I loved sauntering across the classroom to the pencil sharpener, turning the crank at just the right speed, and watching the shavings fall to the floor. Then, after catching a whiff of that woodsy scent and inspecting the tip to make sure it is at a perfect sharpness, returning to your desk to start anew with a freshly sharpened pencil. Pretty soon, there came an end to this activity, the mechanical pencil sharpener. And soon after that, the mechanical pencil. No sharpening involved. Did you press down a little too hard and break the tip? No problem. Click, click, and you're back in business. Thank goodness for the mechanical pencil sharp. It's a real time saver. But I sure do miss that woodsy scent and that stroll across the classroom. This past spring break, I went on a community service trip to Peru. Before I left, I did not realize the skepticism that others would have about the good that would come from this trip. How much does building a playground really do? Perhaps it would give the kids a place to play, but it won't help their families rise out of poverty. When they found out how much the trip would cost, they asked, "Why didn't we just send the money to Peru? Why did we need to waste money to travel down there and do it ourselves? Since we were not skilled in manual labor, it would be more efficient for actual construction workers to do the job." What, you may ask, do sharpening pencils and my trip to Peru have to do with each other? They both have to do with the concept of efficiency. As an economics minor, the classic definition of efficiency has been drilled into me since the first day of Economics 101. That is, a symbol of productivity based on the ratio of output to labor. We live by this definition of efficiency. We use it to analyze how well our economy is doing, how valuable certain people are, and how high our standard of living is. Regarding increased efficiency as the absolute goal has gone beyond economics and has permeated into every facet of our lives, in which we constantly judge our actions based on whether we think they are a waste of time or an efficient use of time. While efficiency as a measurement does have its merits, it lacks valuation of many things that transcend the material world. The quest for efficiency can whet our appetites for more and better things, which can often manifest into greed. I saw this played out explicitly in my experience in Peru, during which dozens of poor children ran to greet us every day we worked at the site. Each day they were so satisfied and excited, simply with our presence. To them, our actual construction work meant little compared to our attention. They expected nothing of us except for our consideration and a few rides in the wheelbarrow. On the last day, however, we decided to bring bags of candy to hand out to the children. The second they set their eyes on it, they went wild. As they pushed, they trampled one another, they lied to us to get more, they turned in their friends who had also lied. They didn't care who they had to step over, just for one more piece of candy. This incident greatly affected me, not only because it demonstrated to me how little they had and how little it would take to make them happy. It also made me realize the nature of desire, greed, and desperation, how they consume us to the point where they make us solely out for ourselves and little more. More generally speaking, efficiency as a measurement is lacking because it hardly speaks to the well-being of people, let alone to their satisfaction with their lives. We are constantly taught to make the most of our time, to be more efficient in everything that we do. When it comes to leisure, we must always take time out of our day for it. This implies that leisure is somehow taking away from a more valuable usage of time. Accordingly, sharpening pencils and traveling to Peru are enormous wastes of time and money and an inefficient way of living. I am well aware of the objections that may follow this analysis of what it means to spend time efficiently. There is the fear that if you don't work hard enough, if you stop too long to enjoy life, then somehow you will fail and end up in destitution. I too recognize the fear of failure and a lifetime of misery. But I also think that nothing is more miserable than a life of desperation, when money becomes the ultimate end instead of a means to the end of achieving happiness. I fully appreciate that much good can come from development, advancement, and that more, better, and faster things can promote increased well-being for all. What I am suggesting is that perhaps this standard may not always apply in measuring everything in our lives. Yes, it is necessary to work because it allows us to materially support our existence. But you do not have to let your engagement in work disengage you from finding satisfaction in your life. To quote from the film Dead Poets Society, "We are members of the human race, and the human race is filled with passion. And medicine, law, business, engineering, these are all noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for." As we have recently heard many times, we do indeed live in troubled times. Therefore, it is easy to label many things as insignificant compared to the big picture of world issues. And while we obsess over defending our way of life as the goal of this big picture, we tend to forget that this way of life is defined by all of the insignificant things. We can then make the most of our time by helping each other appreciate the beauty of the simple things for which we stay alive. We find these in ourselves and in each other. Our gentleness, compassion, generosity, spirituality, our love, conflict, resolution, and restoration. Indeed, we take great risks when we allow something to change us. Life is not something each of us owns, but a force that exerts itself on us indiscriminately, giving us the opportunity for both pleasure and pain. It bestows on us the ability to create beauty, and not beauty in the superficial sense, but beauty that transcends our conventional definition. It is that which we discover when we have the courage to seek and accept change. This is the transformation from a life of desire, apathy, and desperation to one of satisfaction, awareness, and conviction. And this is no simple task. There have been times when I have seriously doubted my own beliefs regarding the value of life. I once had a close friend who, by all appearances, seemed to be living a full, efficient life, smart, rich, witty, successful. However, he was never able to find satisfaction or passion, an emptiness that plagued him. Eventually, desperation consumed his life, and so he chose to leave it. Though I cannot yet comprehend the full effect this has had on my life, I do know that it has forced me to question everything. Why are we here? What is it all about? Where did all the beauty go? And what I've realized is that perhaps we are not necessarily lacking beauty or poetry in our lives, but that, blinded by our desires and often our apathy, we lose sight of it. As that absence grows deeper, so too does our desperation. In the darkest hours of my own desperation, at my most apathetic, I found the key to reclaiming the beauty, and it was so simple: to stop. Stop trying to live this standard, efficient life, and redefine for yourself what it is to live efficiently, so that you allow life into your being and let it transform you and show you where your heart and your satisfaction lie. Let it inspire us to work, to do more, but to do it with conviction. Finding one's conviction requires not only knowing how to be satisfied, but also how to be dissatisfied, to break out of apathy and to truly want to change yourself and the surrounding world. In this age, it becomes increasingly difficult and risky to act on our convictions. It seems that it would just be easier to be apathetic and thus conflict-free. As our lives and locales become more globalized, we feel as if our voices are less heard and we are less powerful to control our own destinies. We feel the urge to resign from our positions as influential human beings and to shut life out. Inspiration is hard to come by, as each of us struggles with finding poetry, and not just poetry in the literal sense, but poetry is any force that motivates or inspires you to continue developing your honesty and conviction. In my search, what has inspired me are words and ideas that compel me to seek out change and thus to confront life. The following poem by Pablo Neruda, I feel, best captures this moment of transition from desperation to conviction. Is it entitled Poetry? And it was at that age, poetry arrived in search of me. I don't know where it came from winter or a river. I don't know how or when. No, they were not voices. They were not words nor silence. But from a street I was summoned, abruptly from the others, among violent fires or returning alone. There I was without a face, and it touched me. I did not know what to say. My mouth had no way with names. My eyes were blind, and something started in my soul, fever or forgotten wings, and I made my own way, deciphering that fire, and I wrote the first faint line. Faint, without substance, pure nonsense, pure wisdom, of someone who knows nothing. And suddenly I saw the heavens unfastened and open planets, palpitating plantation, shadow perforated, riddled with arrows, fire, and flowers, the winding night, the universe. And I, infinitesimal being, drunk with the great starry void, likeness, image of mystery, I felt myself a pure part of the abyss. I wheeled with the stars. My heart broke loose on the open sky. So move on from here and do what you love. Find people to love who remind you of why you are here and how much influence you can really have. Be honest with yourself in that you are doing what you think is right. Do yourself a favor and sharpen some pencils while you're at it. By all means, be successful, make money, make a good living, but never forget what it is you are living for. Thank you.
Mr. President, the President and the Board of Trustees have voted 4 honorary degrees to be awarded in accordance with the authority vested in you by the Board. As Chair of the Board of Trustees of Bowdoin College, I have the honor to present for the degree of Doctor of Science, Margaret Hamburg.
Margaret Hamburg, thoughtful counselor, physician, and leader in public health. We honor you today for your critical contributions to medicine and public policy. On the foundation of your undergraduate and medical training at Harvard University, you have built an outstanding career in public health and policy. You have stated that, when functioning well, the contributions of public health are often invisible to the public. Similarly, in your own work to strengthen public health in the United States, has quietly had a significant impact on many lives. After working at the National Institutes of Health, you became health commissioner for the city of New York in the early 1990s, when that city was suffering from a resurgence of tuberculosis. The threat from this ancient scourge was severely compounded by the AIDS epidemic, and your tuberculosis control program not only led to a dramatic decline in the number of cases, but also brought about a significant decrease in drug-resistant forms of tuberculosis bacteria. As Assistant Secretary in the Department of Health and Human Services, and currently as Vice President for Biological Programs at a private foundation, the Nuclear Threat Initiative, you have worked to meet the challenge posed by the biological threats that the world faces, both from naturally occurring disease outbreaks and from deliberate human actions. You recognize the critical links that must be forged to promote communication among the medical, public health, law enforcement, and intelligence communities. You have led the way by acting as an advisor to groups as diverse as the March of Dimes, National Public Radio, and the CIA. You have emphasized not only the importance of integrating federal, state, and local organizations, but also the need to strengthen international cooperation in our fight against infectious diseases. Your leadership will continue to help us pursue these goals and to shift our focus from fear to preparedness. President Mills, I am honored and pleased to present to you Margaret Hamburg for the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
Margaret Hamburg, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
As Chair of the Board of Trustees of Bowdoin College, I have the honor to present for the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, Mark Morris.
Mark Morris, choreographer, performer, and founder of the world-renowned Mark Morris Dance Group, described by your friend Mikhail Baryshnikov as full of joy in work and in life. Bowdoin College honors you today as one of America's foremost choreographers. Your prolific and extraordinarily successful career began in Seattle, Washington, in a family that encouraged singing, dancing, and theatrics. In 1976, at 20, you arrived in New York City, and 4 years later, you founded the Mark Morris Dance Group. The group's diverse repertory for performers who themselves are diverse in age, body types, and ethnicities evokes by turns epic grandeur, naughty insolence, funky foibles, sexy elegance, and tight-knit communities. Your dances passionately and compassionately affirm the vast range of human strengths and vulnerabilities. Complex rhythms and coherent visual design are hallmarks of your work. Musical structures support the choreographic architecture of space, bodies, and concepts. Sophisticated musicality, muscular athleticism, and acerbic wit make your modern dance widely accessible. A philosophy captured in your own words. Quote, all dances are made for the viewer and for the listener and for the participants and for the hell of it. From 1988 to 91, you were director of dance at Théâtre Royal de la Monnaie, the National Opera House of Belgium. At the Monet, you created 3 heralded evening-length works, L'Allegro, Il Penseroso, ed Il Moderato, to music by Handel, Dido and Aeneas to Purcell, and The Hard Nut, a wacky, sweetly skewed version of the Nutcracker. During this period, you also founded the White Oak Dance Project with Mikhail Baryshnikov. In 1991, you were named a MacArthur Foundation Fellow, and in the past dozen years, you have been honored with numerous awards while continuing to tour with your company. In the fall of 2001, the Mark Morris Dance Center was opened in Brooklyn, New York, the company's first permanent home and school, and the only one of its kind in America. The Mark Morris Dance Group first visited Bowdoin in 1995, performing in the pre-renovation Pickard Theater. You had cause then to lament the sorry state of the building. But Bowdoin took note, and in spring 2000, your company returned to help inaugurate the beautifully redesigned theater in Memorial Hall. Your performances here have helped deepen our awareness of modern dance as an art form. We're delighted to welcome you back to Bowdoin, and today we honor you for your many artistic accomplishments and your uniquely fresh, humane dances. President Mills, I'm honored and pleased to present Mark Morris for the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa.
Mark Morris, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I now confer upon you the degree of Fine Arts, honoris causa.
As chair of the Board of the Trustees of Bowdoin College, I have the honor to present for the degree of Doctor of Letters, Grace Paley.
Grace Paley, fiction writer, poet, journalist, teacher, feminist, anti-war activist, and in the words of Donald Barthelme, wonderful troublemaker. Your life and your writings testify to your deep and abiding commitment to justice, to your fierce and unblinking love of humanity, and to your uncompromising and passionate dedication to the truth. A native of the Bronx, the daughter of Russian Jewish immigrants, you tuned your ear to the pitch of the voices around you, while at the same time developing a voice that is unmistakably your own. It is this voice, filled with love and anger, with conviction and forgiveness, and above all, with a humor that is not a shrug, but a blessing, that has sustained and challenged your readers in your volumes of short stories, The Little Disturbances of Man, Enormous Changes at the Last Minute, Later the Same Day, and The Collected Stories, in your essays, collected in Just As I Thought, and in your poetry, Leaning Forward and Begin Again. Member of the Academy of American Letters and at-large member of the Executive Board of Penn, recipient of many honors, including a John Simon Guggenheim Fellowship, 2 awards from the National Endowment for the Arts, the Edith Wharton Award, the Rhea Award for the Short Story, the Vermont Excellence in the Arts Award, the Lannan Literary Award for Fiction, and the Reader's Digest Lila Wallace Award. You have been generous with your gift, teaching at Sarah Lawrence University, at the City University of New York Graduate Program, and at Syracuse and Columbia Universities. Since your retirement, and surely no word has ever been less apt, you have taught at the Johns Hopkins University, Stanford University, and Dartmouth College. You have written, "It is the responsibility of the poet to keep an eye on this world and cry out like Cassandra, but be listened to this time. You are that voice, and we must do our best to listen." President Mills, I am honored and pleased to present Grace Paley for the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
Grace Paley, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
As chair of the Board of Trustees of Bowdoin College, I have the honor to present for the degree of Doctor of Laws, Ray Traub.
Raymond S. Trobe, welcome home. You are a native son, a beloved alumnus and overseer emeritus, and an exemplar of sound corporate governance. As such, your college honors you today. You were born and raised in Portland, Maine, in a family with modest resources but grand hopes. Having seen the Great Depression and having worked in the defense industries after high school, you came to Bowdoin with serious purpose and prospered here. You were graduated cum laude with a major in government and an impressive record of student leadership. Next, you attended the Yale Law School, where you earned the distinction of serving on the Yale Law Journal. As a promising legal scholar, you clerked at the Federal Court of Appeals, and then achieved the highest honor of a clerkship with Justice Harold Burton, himself a Bowdoin graduate, at the United States Supreme Court. Your apprenticeship seemingly over, you began 20 meteoric years as a corporate lawyer, an investment banker, and a public governor of the American Stock Exchange. For most, such accomplishments would be the capstone of a career, but for you, these years form the foundation of a new career, of financial consultancy, which is your passion to this day. With your intimate knowledge of law and finance, you have served as an independent director of more than 30 corporations. You have consistently espoused and practiced the textbook principles of performance-based incentives, transparency, and board accountability. You have been named one of America's most outstanding board directors. You, as co-author, gave credibility to the internal report that documented the improprieties at Enron. You, a man of the hour, are uniquely qualified to bring confidence again to Enron's shareholders and employees, and to a disillusioned public in search of corporate heroes. You enjoy life's simple pleasures, the sweet science, and yes, you even answer your own business phone. You walk with titans, but here, at your home, you are honored equally for your humility, your generous spirit, and your down-to-earth good sense. President Mills, it is a great privilege to present to you Raymond S. Trobe for the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Raymond Trobe, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Candidati pro gradu baccalaureali assurgita. Vir honoranda hasca unes, coscensio idonios primum ad gradum in artibus, nunc tibi offero, ut a te instructus eos ad gradum istum admittum, placetne. Pro auctoritate mihi commissa, admitto vos ad primum gradum in artibus, et dono en concedo omnia jura privilegia honores atque dignitates, ad gradum istum pertinentia. In cujus testimonium hasca membranas, literis scriptas accipite.
Eric Caleb Abrams. Rebecca Ann Ahern. Mehran Sadiq Ahmed. Dominique Chantal Alepin. Allison Ruth Alukian. Lily Francesca Alt. Audrey Elizabeth Amadon. Allison Paula Ananas. Ashley Bowker Anderson. Dean Taylor Anson III. Eleanor Sidney Asbury. Edward Hamilton Bear. Babak Cyrus Bakhtiari in absentia. Michael Allen Balulescu. Allison Aldrich Banks. Scott Anthony Barbudo. Ann Barmettler. Elizabeth Ann Barney. Kathleen Frail Barrett. Stacy Hannah Barron. Sophia Keiko Basson. Erica Michelle Bellamy. Allison Jane Benton. Ashley Bueller Barrent. Hillary Lauren Bernstein. David Lucas Belak. Richard Ralph Benelli. Allison Mary Binkowski. Laura Blacker. Ann Daly Blair. Joseph Paul Blunda. Sarah Stephanie Bodnar. Amanda Nadine Bohr. Byron Emerith Boots. Scott Adam Borashow. Elizabeth McCallum Burke. Jill Elizabeth Bouye. John Patrick Box, Jr. Justin Tydell Boynton. Amory Ann Bradley. Jeremy Adam Braff. Christopher Michael Bragdon. Ryan Alton Braun. Catherine St. Clair Brinkerhoff. Jessica Lynn Brooks. Sarah Mackenzie Bruss. Elizabeth Stewart Bryson. Caroline Vickers Budney. Todd Allen Buell. Ethan P. Bullard. Kaylin Madden Burke. Patrick Barry Burns. David Pattenow Butler. Alice Saltonstall Bird. Brian Edward Calabrese. Benjamin Clark Caldwell. Keegan Callanan. Bjorn Crosby Carey. Jesse David Cargill. Elizabeth Ann Carlson. Stephen Michael Carpenter. Mara Leanne Caruso. Jonathan Andrew Cashman. Kevin Gary Castengay. Ryan Patrick Cawley. Ann Fenton Kavanaugh. Dorothy Marie Chalmers. Ann Purinton Chamberlain. Sarah Wei-Ling Chang. Shelley Lynn Chessie. Leah Dania Christensen. Alexander Chu. Mira Ku Chun. Gabriel Michael Civiello. Gordon Clement Clark. Braden Matthew Clement. Andrew McMorris Coffin. Joanna Lee Cohen. Peter Robert Coheno. Sarah Howe Coleman. Heather Amira Coleman McGill. Chad Dennis Colton. Adam Bartholomew Comfort. Angela Rose Comito. Kimberly Ann Cooper. Jennifer Amy Corris. Julie Marie Costa in absentia. David Keith Costello. Matthew Kyle Curtis. Amanda Lise Cowan. Matthew Kuehl Cowger. Tyler Burton Cox. Brian M. Curry. Hannah Wood Curtis. Joel Lawrence Dakin. Lauren Elizabeth Darneal. Arlen Samantha Davich. Christopher James Davidson. Nicole Ashley Davis. Julianne Dawson. William Lee Day. Bradley Paul Decker. Evan Alexander Dewhurst. Eric Scott Diamond. Bethany Catherine Dittmar. Eleanor Conant Doig. Jonathan Jeremiah Dolan. David Allen Donnelly. Aaron Miller Donahoe. Catherine Louise Dost. Emily Jewel Duffus. Alexander Burns Duncan. Andrew Thomas Dunn. Tyler John Miles Dunphy. Derek Francois Duplessis. Sarah Rose Durante. Patrick Russell Dwiggins. Sarah Chase Edgecombe. Christina Carey Edwards. Shannon Elizabeth Elf. Arthur Ellsworth Ellison V. Kalisi Antoinette Mafi Kaunanga Fa Anunu. Arish Faksh. Molly Bear Farneth. Christopher Ayers Faisal. Nicole Marie Fava. Jordan Ball Fay. Julia Richmond Febiger. August John Felker. Rebecca Ann Fenning. Rebecca Barbara Ellen Furtziger. Liesel Finn. Karen Elizabeth Finnegan. Daniel G. Flack. Michaela Helen Flanagan. Matthew Henry Phillips Fleck. Kevin John Folan. Beth May Ford. Todd Richard Forsgren. Claire Marie Forsty. Justin McLeod Foster. Caitlin Y. Folks. Richard Bayard Fox in absentia. Alexandra Brittle Frankie. Corey Newman Friedman. Maggie Ann Fritz Morkin. Christopher Lane Fuller. Amy Beth Funkenstein. Julianne Snow Gorin. Rebecca Hatch Gear. Allison Elizabeth George. Kirsten Carol George. Catherine E.A. Getchell. Amanda Lyle Gibbons. Tiana Searles Gerke. Matthew John Jaffoon. Joy Marie Jaguar, Alan Joseph Gingrich, Daniel Anthony Ginn, Nicholas Monroe Glad, Jenna Maloney Goldman, Alexis Lee Goldstein, Eric Lewis Goldwyn, Catherine Teresa Graciano, Megan Irene Greenleaf, Courtney Elizabeth Gribben, Mara Ann Grossman, Rebecca Elizabeth Gundelsberger, Daniel Scott Galata, Anne McLean Gustafson in absentia, Sarah Elizabeth Hagedorn, Brooke Catherine Haley, Matthew Payne Hammond in absentia, Ariel Patrice Hannock, David Thomas Harden, Michael Harding, Justin Mitchell Hardison, Chad Garrett Hart, Megan Marie Hayes, Erin M. Hegarty, Lee Margaret Hegland, Colin Christopher Heinley, Matthew Curley Hessian, Nicholas Sharp Hebert, James Porter Hill, Allison Casper Hinman, Meredith Miller Hoare, Whitney Sinclair Hodgkins, Heidi Holmstrom, James William Holty, Heather Robin Honus, Catherine F. Horseman, Leah Bess Hoxie, George Taylor Hubbard, Jr., Jane Elizabeth Hummer, David Edward Hutchinson, Sunu Julie Wong, Erica Lee Johnson, Robert Wallace Johnson, Todd Coleman Johnston, Colin Douglas Joyner, Jay Caspian Kang, Prathna Kapoor, Julie Elaine Carlson, Suzanne Marisa Cassé in absentia, Melanie Carey Keene, Lillian K. Keller, Brendan P. Kelly, Stephen Thomas Kemper, Ellen Carol Kenny, Andrew Samuel Keschner. Dennis Colin Kiley. Hae Myung Kim. Jin Ho Kim. Kristen Brown Kinsvogel. Elizabeth Girardi King. Joshua Ryan Kingsbury. Leanna Judith Kinnicutt. Jasa A. Kinsman. David Van Dieren Kirkland. Quinn Morgan Kitchen. Abby Ann Klein. Francesca Klusevec Whalen. Andrew Morris Knapp. Seth Lawrence Knowles. Noah Allen Kolb. Donna Shulamit Kramer. Jeremy Matthew Lambert. Noah James Lambie. Jessica Sarah Landis. Rachel E.H. Lane. Tyler Cowan Lang. Ba Lanu. Jennifer Rita Laraya. Andrea Ledbetter Larkin. Andrew Floyd Larson. Jan Amber Larson. Sarah Ann Laverty. Andrea Young Lee. Clara Jungyi Lee. Maya Christina Becker Lee. Mi-young Lee. Nam Soo Lee. Eric Legree in absentia. Catherine Olivier Lemay. Harrison Kwok-wing Leong. Allison Joan Levy. Kimberly Kwan Levine. Brandon Michael Levy. Nicholas Arthur Lillo. Megan Elizabeth Lim. Sarah Beth Lipinoga. Allison Don Lizotte. Jessica Lowe. Nissa Lee Lorman. Noah Baker Long. Matthew Fitz Lucigian. Marisa Isabel Rodriguez Lord. Adrian Marie Luoma. Mark William Ludi. Edward George McKenzie. Nicholas Alberto McLean. Megan Elizabeth McNeil. Matthew Harry Magenheim. Jeffrey Leo Manganaro. Adam Lewis Manton. Sarah Elizabeth Mance. Michelle Allison Marin. Kathleen Ann Masterson. Colleen Alicia Matthews. Nachel Kaur Mathoda. Evan Graham Matson. Rosalind Ann May. Albert Pilevin Mayer. Kasim Shi Mbwana. Elizabeth Grace McCain. Leah Joan McClure. Benjamin Rickson McGinnis. James Andrew McGinnis. Breanne Farrell McKenna. Emily Marion McKissick. Sarah Dawn McLaughlin. Bartholomew William McMahon. Matthew Ross McNeil. Kabul Shekhar Mehta. Alice McGrew Mellinger. Amado de Guzman Mendoza Jr. Elise Marie Mioli. Michelle Jean Merchant. Arthur DeHaan Middleton in absentia. Daniel Jefferson Miller. Ezra Ross Miller. James Edward Miller. Paul Yonggi Min. Andrew Scott Minus. Alexander Duncan Moore. Bridget Rose Moran. Micah Mark Moreau. Jessica Morin. Michael George Morris. Whitney Elizabeth Morris. Christopher Moxie. Merrill Amy Muckerman. Wissam Ali Maharib in absentia. Beth Ann Muir. Maura Rebecca Mulvaney. Laura Jean Newman. James B. Nichols. Matthew Francis Xavier Norcia. Alexander Isaac Nosnick. Adia Fagan Nunnally. Chandler J. Nudick. Seth James Brian Obed. Connor Savage O'Brien. Bartley Francis O'Connor III. Diana Catherine Brooks O'Donnell. Selvin O'Heaney. Stephen Patrick O'Malley. Jacob Patrick Ossoff in absentia. Joanne Sophia Ostrom. Irene Arum Pak. Kate Lisbeth Pantelides. Lauren Eve Paponi. Kevin U. Park. Timothy Stephen Pasakarnis. Siopo Pat. Travis Adam Patton. Elizabeth Glasser Pearson. Corinne Jeanette Pellegrini. Amy Baumgarten Peterson. Edward Carver Pierce. Nadia Allen Pincus. Erica Marie Pisaturo. Michelle Lynn Platt. Louis Valentine Plow. Kara Kinder Podkaminer. Anna Robb Pador. Joshua James Police. Stephen Timothy Popper. Jared Douglas Porter. Lindsay Tyler Powers. Judson Mills Pratt Heaney. Wendy Elizabeth Price. Laura Elizabeth Quinlan. Ryan Michael Joseph Quinn. Dawn Marie Ratcliffe. Sarah Marie Ramey. Jason Michael Rollins. Amber Faye DeRosa Reed. Jessica Edith Rubin. Brooks Howard Rich. Jana Alice Richardson. Eleanor Darrow Richmond. Thurston Thorfinn Raday. Timothy John Reamer. Abigail Robarts. Micah J. Roberge. Jessie Marie Roberts. Kelly Lynn Roberts. Matthew Butterfield Roberts. Elizabeth Carol Robinson. Catherine Jane Roboff. Rachel Lauren Rones. Alexander Michael Rossetti. Andrew Jacob Ross. Christy Lee Royer. Jeffrey Aaron Rubens. Jamie Caroline Rubenstein. Joshua Richard Rudner. Stefan Joseph Ruzicka. Michael Donald Sabolinsky. Timothy Peter Sachs. James Brady Salsick III. Julia Page Sanders. Joseph Peter Sansone Jr. Adriana Goslin Schick. Michael Robert Schindler. Sarah Madeline Shalansker. Emily Diana Schlegel. Tenley Hope Schofield. John Edward Scholhammer. Thomas Vanderlyn Cyphers. Lindsay Morgan Scott. Catherine Diane Semro. Acadia Lee Sinise. Timothy Ryan Seymour. Philip Ward Sharp. Caitlin Foster Shaughnessy. Daniil Nanji Shikat. Gloria W. Shen. Jill Meredith Shirey. Monica Lynn Skogie. Catherine Elaine Smith. Patrick Michael Smith. Thomas Sokol. Nima Sahar Sultanzad. Eric A. Sprague. Catherine Ann Stallkamp. Melinda Carton Stanley. Sean Richard Stark. Mark Davies Steffen. Julia Beth Steinberg. Lindsay Pabst Steinmetz. Eliza Ann Stewart. Owen Daniel Strawn. James Beckett Strohacker. Blake Thomas Sturdivant. Edward Michael Sweeney Jr. Allison Diane Sylvester. Rachel Elise Tannebring. Brooke Charlotte Tanzel. Elizabeth Ann Tardif. Emily Jane Taylor. Joni Ainsworth Taylor. Jacqueline Ann Templeton. Colin Thomas Thibodeau. William Boltwood Thomas. Julia Brooks Thompson. Christopher Damon Toms. Courtney Elizabeth Tolmie. Emily Tompkins. Worowan Tumonkol. Lauren Deanne True. Evelyn Sang. David Joseph Turco. Joseph Peter Turner, Jr. Eric Robert Tustison. Victoria Jane Upson. Cecily Suzanne Upton. Tree Vin Van. Patrick Louis Vidaro. Matthew Scott Volk. Regina Mary Von Schack. Allison Ann Waddell. Brendan Michael Wakeham. Toby Allen Walsh. Julian Yale Waldo. Eric Jeffrey Walker. Ryan Walsh Martell. Jasmine Young Watson. Michelle Grace Weaver. Abigail Claire Webster. Andrea Zenobia Lexine Weeks. Patrick John Welsh. Elizabeth Ann Wendell. Catherine Matea Westley. Carolyn Marie Westra. Lauren Marie Whaley. Nicholas Colin Williams. Wiley Otto Willman. Sarah Starr Wiltshire. Laura Ann Windecker. Deborah Lee Philbrick Whistle. Joshua Richard Wolfe. Kenna Sorn Wong Srichanalai. Courtney Marie Wu. Diane Elizabeth Wood. Thomas John Wright. Tenley Elizabeth Larson Werglitz. Emmy Camilla Yamada. Timothy Yanni Lazarus. Run Yi. Roy Young. Jamie Raphael Uiko. Robert John Zano. Congratulations.
Fonserite. We invite you to express your pride once again in Bowdoin's newest graduates with a great round of applause. Please let's celebrate them again. And now I'd like to introduce Ryan M. Quinn, Senior Class President, who would like to say a few words. Ryan?
President Mills, members of the college, family, and friends. Originally, I was going to start this speech off by having the class of 2003 stand up and, thank you all for your support and encouragement, but President Mills stole my thunder. They say great minds think alike. I don't know how that makes him feel, but I feel pretty smart right now. So, all right, allow me to take you back to the first day we arrived on campus. It was pretty crazy. A bunch of clueless freshmen running around, trying to get themselves oriented, wondering where they would fit in. We all asked random upperclassmen questions like, "Where's Hubbard Hall?" Only to be answered with a knowing laugh and a finger pointing to that building right there. And they repeat a little Mark Twain in their head. "Kid, it's better to appear ignorant than to open your mouth and remove all doubt." Everyone was enwrapped with various conflicting emotions: anxiety, fear, anticipation, happiness. We were prepared, fired up, and we were ready for success. And oh yes, we finally had that sweet, sweet feeling of independence. It was obvious that we were preparing to begin a new phase in our lives, just like we are doing here today. And after the initial panic subsided, we analyzed these sentiments and dealt with them accordingly. After all, we did consider ourselves to be bright high school phenoms. Perhaps I'm exaggerating a little bit for some of us, but we all had our own individual aspirations and goals. I knew that I thought I was going to be valedictorian and then shoot right off to med school. Well, the valedictorian part didn't work out too well, and the med school idea, that quickly turned into I hate chemistry. Sorry. Freshman year taught me that our goals were going to be constantly evolving, and sometimes, as in my case, changing completely. I knew that I was prepared for this journey, and I promised myself to work hard, but also to have fun along the way. And as the last 4 years unfolded, I realized how lucky I was to be living that journey here at Bowdoin. I know of no other place that is so rich in personality and talent, and it's evident in student-produced play Into the Woods, our favorite band, the Has-Beens, and the countless senior art shows, just to name a few. I know of no other place where every student is extremely intelligent, but still knows how to have a great time. Need I remind you of rocking out to J5, Stowe 202, the ASA fashion show, the 100 Days party with WPP, and any Ivies or Halloween that we managed to survive. I know of no other place where everyone is so beautiful and so generous with their time and efforts. Although the academics are rigorous here, our professors go out of their way to help the student, even when that student is halfway around the world immersed in a study abroad program. We have learned a lot from our classes and peers, and we will only continue to learn more from the outside world, so keep your eyes open. Our small college in Brunswick, Maine is so welcoming, challenging, and yet maintains a sense of enthusiasm that pervades and characterizes the spirit of our campus. In all these aspects, Bowdoin is a very rare place, as it has nourished us and encouraged us to follow through with our ambitions. And no matter how our goals may have changed along the way, the people who comprise our college have been there to see us through. And so, despite the struggles and challenges that life has thrown at us these last 4 years, we have endured and we have adapted. The Bowdoin community did not falter during the tragic events of 9/11 and the current war with Iraq. Instead, we became stronger and utilized the close relationships we developed with our peers to support each other. This is why we are here now, feeling those same emotions we had from day one as we start the next stages of our lives. We have enjoyed the journey, but we are ready to leave. We are prepared to leave. We will walk away from this campus later today or tomorrow, but we will take with us our academic experiences and the comforting memories that we have formed here at Bowdoin. There is no doubt in my mind that we have succeeded by being here today, and we will only continue to succeed with every personal endeavor and every challenge we seek to pursue or that happens to come our way. Our graduation inherently links us to Nathaniel Hawthorne, Henry Longfellow, Joshua Chamberlain, Joan Benoit Samuelson, and other accomplished alumni. As we begin our commencement into the rest of our lives, we now become part of that esteemed lineage. It is now our turn to make our marks on the world. I wish to thank every one of you for helping me along the way. The friends that I have made here are lifelong and have forever become part of my family. As we part ways, I am not going to tell you that I have no fears and no regrets, because it is only natural that we sometimes do. We should continue to question and evaluate our actions and learn from their results and consequences. We should continue to learn from ourselves and learn from each other. This is both a healthy and progressive process that has played a major part in our achievements. I am certain that wherever I go, all I have to do is look back at my time here in Bowdoin, and I'll have the faith and confidence I need, which is a very reassuring feeling. I'll look back at my experience here at Bowdoin, and I'll smile, and I encourage you to do the same. In closing, I would like to quote from the offer of the college, which Barry Mills did yesterday at the baccalaureate. And I quote, "To lose yourself in generous enthusiasms and cooperate with others for common ends. This is the offer of the college." William DeWitt Hyde. With this offer in mind, Bowdoin College Class of 2003 refurbished a school in Masaya, Nicaragua to help spread the gift of education. A plaque will be erected in front of Hawthorne and Longfellow Library commemorating our sister school. This gift, along with all the other senior-sponsored events, would not have been made possible without the dedicated help of the other class officers. Bill Day, Tim Reamer, Ty Gerke, Adriana Schick, and Andy Minus, and with our advisors, Burgie Howard and Susan Leonard, and of course, all of my fellow classmates. I thank you all for giving me the opportunity to serve as your president, and I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors. Congratulations, class of 2003.
Thank you, Ryan. In closing, I urge each of you to take with you something of what has been said here today and yesterday at Baccalaureate. Above all, go into the world with vigor and with purpose. Remember Bowdoin's call to service and put your talents to work for something bigger than yourselves. Pay attention to the world. It needs your energy and it needs your nimble minds. Congratulations to you all. At the conclusion of these ceremonies, I invite you all out to the Farley Fieldhouse for our commencement luncheon under the tents. I'm going to call a little bit of an audible. We were not sure we were going to be able to do the recessional, so our wonderful band is out drying off out at the Farley Fieldhouse. But nonetheless, we will do the recessional, and so we will march out in our customary fashion. And I'd now like to ask the members of Boca, Miscellanea, the Medibemsters, Ursus Versus, the chorus, and the chamber choir to come forward to lead us all in the singing of the alma mater. You'll find the words on the last page of your program.
Praise songs to Bowdoin, praise her fame, and sound abroad her glorious name. To Bowdoin, Bowdoin, lift your song, and may the music echo long. For whispering pines and campus fair, with sturdy might
198th commencement of Bowdoin College is now concluded.